You guys, welcome to my house. I got this idea for this video because of you. You wanted to have a home tour and you wanted to see my art studio. Today, I'm going to give you a tour of the house, and also I want to introduce you to some of my art. The art that either I've made or that people in my family have made, or art that I've collected through my travels and through doing Inside Edition for all these years, and before that doing sportscasting. And I picked up a lot of interesting things along the way. And of course, I'm also a mosaic artist. So almost everything that I make, I either show at galleries and sell, or I have them in my own house. So come on in. So welcome to my house, our house. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a tour of what my house looks like. So this is my living room. The house itself is a 1924 Spanish style house, and that's my favorite style house. I like vintage homes with a lot of character. The original tile here from the fireplace, crystal that I've collected from travels in Europe. This is all from Italy. These are amazing bowls that my grandpa Guerrero made, and you'll see them throughout my house. They're all over the place. So he was a craftsman and artisan. He was actually a tailor. That's why he came to the United States from Chile. Later in life, he started crafting these beautiful bowls and vases. So they're kind of all over the place. That's a picture of my mom. And this is a picture of my mom and dad from their wedding day. And this is my grandpa Guerrero, the one that came to the United States as a tailor, and my grandma Sarah. And they both lived into their 90s. So that's amazing. Good genes. This again is my living room. You'll see throughout my house things that I've created. This is a mosaic I made using some vintage jewelry. Again, since this is a Spanish style house, there are a lot of crucifixes and Spanish style decor. Over here, you guys will remember this. This is from the wine bottle tutorial, right? So here's my wine bottle that we created. More bowls from my grandfather that my grandfather made. He made this tree of life. He made this little jewelry box. Of course, family pictures everywhere to help warm it up and really personalize. So if you're thinking about decorating a house, use tons of pictures, make it personal, and it just adds a lot of dimension. Over here is one of my favorite pieces. This is from an artist named Huang, and she was a Vietnamese refugee to the United States, and her art has been shown in the White House. So this is amazing. This is called Catching the Sunset. So that's my living room. And then we move into the dining room area. And this used to be a tiny little bungalow house. And through the years, the owners have kind of opened it up. So it used to be just a tiny little bungalow that ended like right over here with two tiny little bedrooms over there. And now it's been expanded. So here's my dining room area. And here's one of the things I love about what I do. As I create arts and crafts and I make things that are really personal, I always keep my dining room table made. I have it ready with plates and silverware, and I always make the table with my jewelry for your table napkin rings. So all these napkin rings are made out of vintage brooches, and all of the brooches are different, but they all kind of work together to create a really cool tablescape. So as you can see, this tablescape has got kind of a vintage Hawaiian feel because I got these linens from a trip I made recently to Maui. And this vintage fabric is from the 40s, and a local artisan had made them into table runners and into these really beautiful napkins. And because I enjoyed my time in Hawaii so much, I wanted to make a jewelry for your tablescape that kind of reflects my Hawaii experience in Maui. So anyway, that's my dining room. Come on in. This is the kitchen, but it's also Cupcake's condo. So this kind of powder room and the kitchen and this little cubby hole over here, he can kind of go around wherever he wants to. What I want to show you here in my kitchen is a couple of things when we're talking about living with art. Down here, this is basically a way to keep Cupcake in the kitchen so he doesn't get into my bedroom back there. And what it was originally was a white shelf. It was an extra shelf in order to block my bedroom. So what I did was I took that white shelf and I put vintage tiles and I mosaiced it with different size tiles and even corks. So these round ones are corks, which I thought was really pretty for a Spanish style kitchen. So this was a craft that took me maybe 3 days to put together, but it looks so much better than the white shelf that I had sitting here. So this is still the white shelf, but now it's been mosaiced and tiled over. And so now Cupcake can't get into my bedroom unless he's invited. So this is one of my mosaics that I'm the most proud of. It was my first full-size mosaic, and this is called Malibu Mermaid. And I used a combination of glass, ceramic, mirror, beads, little glass fish, jewelry, real jewelry. She's got a pearl necklace on. So this took me, I would say, about 6 weeks to make. Oh, people ask, how do you sign your name? If you're an artist and you do mosaics, how do you sign your name? Because if you're a painter, you just paint it, right? So I do a couple of things. Because I used glass in some of my pieces, I used a piece of clear glass down here, and underneath the glass, before I glued it in, I wrote my name in a Sharpie, and then I put the glass over it and glued it with a silicone clear glue. So now my name is there underneath the glass, so it can never be wiped off or anything. So that's kind of one way that a mosaic artist can sign their piece. So you can see who did it, but still maintain the integrity of glass and ceramic and grout. So that's Malibu Mermaid. This is where the magic happens. People are supposed to say that about their bedrooms, not their kitchen. But this is where I do, of course, the Tipsy Chef videos that I've been posting. And thank you so much for watching them and all your comments. Your comments on those are hilarious, by the way. But this is my kitchen. And again, I live with art. It's everywhere. Up there is a peacock mosaic that I made 3 years ago, right before I moved into this house. The idea was I was going to take that peacock mosaic, and while I was searching for a home, I was thinking about the kind of home I wanted. I wanted something with really warm colors, Spanish style, something with a lot of character. And so I thought I was going to put that mosaic, which is the peacock, into a kitchen backsplash. So I created it before I saw this house. When I saw this house, I fell in love with it. I bought this house, and lo and behold, there's no place to put a kitchen backsplash. So instead, I just put my peacock up there so he overlooks my kitchen until I can figure out what to do with him. But for now, that's where he lives. I told you my grandfather was a woodworker. Look at those beautiful pieces that he made. That's from my grandpa Guerrero. These are more of my mosaics. These are really kind of fun, springy mosaics that I did with flowers, again, using jewelry in the center. I love this part. This is a little butterfly. So there's that. And you guys will remember these. Yet another mosaic tutorial. These are coasters that we created. These are really easy coasters that anybody can make. But these were from our mosaic tutorial. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but you should watch this. It's really easy and it teaches you how to make mosaics. So I've got these out. And then again, you know, I just got all these little creations that I've made through the years, and I just post them everywhere. And those are really pretty with the sun kind of shining through them, where you can kind of see the glass and see the design. Again, a lot of these tiles are original to the house. The ones here and the ones on the fireplace, the ones in the front yard and in the backyard, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So at any rate, this is my kitchen. I love it. Oh, and if you look up, it's got a vaulted ceiling, and a former owner punched out the ceiling and created this effect. So it seems a lot bigger in here than it is, just because of this beautiful vaulted ceiling. So I love my kitchen. Let's go. This is what really sold me on the house. Okay, welcome to my art studio. This is my oasis. Come on in. So, this room is a freestanding building that used to be originally a garage back in the 20s. Can you imagine? So there's a driveway out here to the front of the house. But through the years, different owners have created, either a sitting room or library or office. I use it for an art studio because I needed a lot of room to put all of my mosaic pieces and my art projects. So this is one pretty large room with a supply closet in the back. And this wall is filled up with my line of mosaics called Kitchen Bitches. And these girls started as kind of a joke. So an old girlfriend of mine said, you don't cook very much. What do you use a kitchen for? And I started thinking about kitchen backsplashes and women and how we're labeled. You're supposed to get in the kitchen and make me a sandwich, honey. And, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach and all that stuff. When I was growing up, I didn't really cook that much. And I used the kitchen to store my hats in the oven. So I was not much of a cook. So I just thought it would be fun to take the idea of kitchen backsplashes and have some sassy women saying some kind of interesting things about feminism and what it's like to be a woman. And so you'll see my different kitchen bitches are women of different ethnicities and different hair color, different skin color, but they're all modern women. And they're all saying something that I think is a play on words, and it has to do with feminism. So I've had these shown in many art galleries, including Beverly Hills and Santa Monica, and I've had celebrities buy my pieces, and I've created some on consignment for celebrities and athletes as well. And the one thing that people say about this art style is that it's pop art. Mosaic art is usually classical, and so when you think of mosaics, you kind of think of the old Greek and Roman stone mosaics. My mosaics are different than that. They're a lot of fun, and hopefully they're kind of whimsical, and the girls are definitely saying something. She's Always Cooking Up Trouble was one of my first kitchen bitches, and she's actually got pasta in this little pan and the words trouble. So she is quite literally cooking up trouble. As you can see, the detail on these is pretty crazy. They're all wearing real jewelry that I've worn before and that I've collected throughout my life. And most of them are holding either kitchen utensils or glasses that I've cut down. And so they're actually three-dimensional. And what I love about mosaic art, unlike paintings, is you can touch them and they're really durable, right? So I encourage people when I show these at art galleries to actually get up and touch them, because mosaics are that kind of an art. They're very durable. This is how I design my kitchen bitches. First, I think of a pattern, like an idea that I want them to look like. So the first thing I do is I do a drawing about what the concept is. So in this case, being Latina myself, I really wanted to do a Latina kitchen bitch, and I wanted her to be hot chick, and she's saying caliente, and she's holding Tabasco in front of a hot sun. So you can see where I was going on this, and then that's the finished product. But I always start with a drawing. It turned out pretty good, right? Pretty close. And again, what I've done is I've taken gender and ethnic tropes and I flipped the switch on them. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking these women that are different ethnicities and different age ranges, and I'm just saying, with their statements, through their statements, that, we're sassy and we're independent and we have something to say. And so those are my current kitchen bitches. I've created 7 or 8 other ones, but they've all been sold or given away when I gave in a charity event. But these are the ones that I currently have right now, and I'm getting ready to do another show. So I want to put these up in a gallery along with some of my newer work. And I want to show you now some of my new work. This is something that I have been dreaming about doing for a long time. So here we are on the other side of my studio. This is my work table. So this is where I make most of my mosaics. The ones that can fit on this table, I do here. I have really pretty natural light during the day coming in this way, and I can also open up this window if the fumes are too strong from the glue or the grout, and I can also open my French doors behind me. People ask me about how it is that I can chase bad guys, and isn't that stressful, and all my traveling, and how do I do it? I do it because I have art. So this gives me kind of the peaceful outlet that I need. That is the opposite of what I do on camera. So over here, I'm really proud of this. This is a new project I'm doing. I have always wanted to do mosaic tabletops, and I want to do a really big one eventually, a big outdoor table. But in the meantime, I thought, I'm going to start with some small circular tables. And you know I love my kitchen bitches. What if I could do a series of outdoor tables that are all in the garden? So all the girls are in the garden. So I call these garden girls. And so here are the drawings for the design. Starting here and down here, I've got 4 different ideas. All the girls have different colored eyes, different skin color, different hair color, and they're all kind of intermixed with different flowers: roses, daisies, irises, and sunflowers. So this was the basis of a concept for me to make these mosaic tabletops. And what I did, here was my first one. It's done now. And she is a brunette with red flowers. This is how it started. So I'm going to do a series of these. I'm going to do 4 of them, and they're all going to have different hair color. They're all going to have different flowers in their hair, and they're all kind of peeking out from their hair and from a garden. So I thought it would be cool to have a series of garden girls. And then behind me, you can see my materials. These are all little pieces of glass and ceramic. I've got everything organized between colors and materials. So I've got everything from glass and ceramic and beads and broken china, all the way to other smaller beads here, and millefiori, which is from Italy. And I've got everything kind of tagged and organized in probably the only way I would understand them, but it makes me feel a lot more in control of this chaos, because obviously there's so much going on in a mosaic, but you need to know where your materials are. So this is really nice that this had this built-in shelving for me. Down here I have a lot of workbooks and mosaic books and arts and crafts books that just give me inspiration and that are constantly a way for me to go, okay, hey, why don't I try this project, or why don't I try this type of material? And that's it. So this is my mosaic studio. So this is really where the magic happens, right? My mosaic studio. Now let's go outside, because I have something really special to show you out there. So this part of the house is probably what I'm the most proud of, because when I first moved here, this garden was really old and run down, and it had an old pergola over here with an old kind of fire pit that was broken and damaged. So I tore all that down and out, and what I built here is what I call my Mosaic Gazebo. And it is quite literally a gazebo with mosaics in it that I created. So this mosaic in the back, I created this outdoor fireplace and designed this whole outdoor area. This used to just be wooden fence and wooden benches and an old fire pit. Tore all that out, put in this tile, put up this pergola, and put in this chandelier. This is actually a mosaic that I created several years ago, but I didn't have a place to put it until I moved into this house. It's 9 separate pieces. They're mounted off the wall in little 3-inch posts. So with light shining on them, it casts a little shadow behind them. So it's kind of a cool 3-dimensional piece of art. That took me several months to create this. And this is made of ceramic and glass, broken Mexican tile and Mexican dishes, and grout. And it's really pretty when the lights are on, when it's nighttime and I turn on the chandelier and I have the fireplace lit and I light all the candles. It really sparkles. It's really pretty. Over here, remember that divider that I had in the kitchen? This is another, it used to be a white shelf. And I would put here, I put that white shelf here to just protect the fireplace and from the elements. And it just looked terrible because it was white. And instead I covered it with, again, vintage tile and mosaic pieces and grouted it and sealed it. So now it kind of works with the colors out here. I used a lot of blues and golds and warm earth tones out here. And then what you see underneath me is, holy cow, this was a labor of love. These are 136 tiles, mosaic tiles that I made last fall and winter. And I wanted them mounted installed in between terracotta tile. And so this whole area, this outdoor living space, when I measured it, I figured I needed 136 small 4x4 inch tiles. So it took me months to create them. And the theme out here is Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead. And that's why you're gonna see a lot of little skulls. So a lot of these mosaics that I created are skulls, and also animals and birds. Dia de los Muertos is really about celebrating our loved ones and nature. So you see everything from cats and dogs and butterflies and insects to flowers and skulls. This was an amazing experience to do this. I absolutely love my outdoor living space. I'm here all the time. I come out here in the morning and I drink coffee, come out here at night, have a sip of wine. And then I have an outdoor dining room over here. And in fact, it was just my dad's birthday and we had his party out here. So this is really beautiful when it's all made up and the table's made, and I've got lights above it, so really pretty bistro lights. So this is a really beautiful place to have a party. So I've had several get-togethers here, parties, birthday parties, Christmas party. So the outdoor living space is my favorite part of the house for sure. Thank you so much for visiting my house. Again, this video came from you. You had this idea. And so if you have any ideas for future videos, then leave them in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I've got lots of really fun videos coming up, some huge surprises for the holidays. So you definitely want to subscribe right away to Lisa Guerrero TV. Have a great day and thank you for watching.